Welcome back to the False Prophet channel. This is Brother Jacob, and this is the False Prophet channel where we get Islam exposed and the Prophet of Islam exposed on a regular basis. In this video, we will be proving that Muhammad once again contradicts himself, and we will be showing you how Muhammad lied, and that's how Islam began. It's based upon a lie, and we will prove this by using the very words of Muhammad, by going into the Hadith. And we're going to start by reading Surah 2, verse 256. This is a Yusuf Ali translation, and we are reading from Quran.com. And it says, "Let there be no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from error." Okay? Now, as you see, it says, truth stands out clear from error. But we're going to show you where Muhammad said that it's okay to tell lies. So if the Quran says that truth stands out clear from error, that means the Quran is saying that truth is something that's righteous and that lies is something that's unrighteous. Okay? But Muhammad contradicts this verse and says that lying is okay. So if lying is okay, then how can truth stand out clear from error? Okay, so either Muhammad is right or Allah is wrong. Both of them can't be right at the same time. So that's what the definition of a contradiction is. When you have two opposing opinions on the same subject. So does truth stand out clear from error, or do lies stand out clear from error? Okay, so now let's go to the Hadith. Let's go to Sunnah.com. Let's type in lie. Just showing you how easy it is to get Muhammad busted. Before we go to where he said it's okay to lie, let's show you another Hadith that corresponds with the Quran verse that we just read to you. Right here it says, as you see, chapter 45, the book of virtue, enjoining good manners and joining of the ties of kinship. Under the subheading, chapter 29, the abhorrence of lying and the goodness and virtue of honesty. So right here, even under the chapter heading, it's showing you that lying is not good. In fact, it uses the abhorrence of lying. So that word abhorrence means that lying is something that is very, very distasteful. So the person abhors the lie. So let's read what the Hadith says. Abdullah reported Allah's messenger as saying, "Truth leads one to paradise, and virtue leads one to paradise, and the person tells the truth until he is recorded as truthful, and lies leads to obscenity, and obscenity leads to hell, and the person who tells a lie until he is recorded as a liar." So as you see, this Hadith agrees with the Quran verse that we read, Surah 2, 256, that truth stands out clear from error. Okay? Now, let's show you where Muhammad contradicts his sayings in this Hadith that's before you. We're going to show you where he contradicts himself in this Hadith, and we're going to show you how he contradicts the Quran verse, Surah 2, 256 that we read. And let's do that right now. Okay. Chapter 27 chapters on righteousness and maintaining good relations with relatives. And under the subheading, chapter 26, what has been related about rectifying manners. Okay. Now, this is where he contradicts the Hadith that we just read and where he contradicts Surah 2, verse 256. Asma bint Yazid narrated that the Messenger of Allah said, "It is not lawful to lie except in three cases: something the man tells his wife to please her, to lie during war, and to lie in order to bring peace between the people." So as you see, Muhammad just contradicted himself. In the other hadith that we read, he said that lying leads to hell. And he said truth leads to paradise. He said truth leads to paradise and that good virtue leads to paradise. And he said that lying leads to hell and that lying leads to obscenities and to hellfire. Okay? So in this hadith before you, he contradicted himself and he contradicted the Quran, because he is saying that there are exceptions when you can lie. Okay, but if there are exceptions when you can lie, then how can Surah 2, 256 remain true? And how can the other hadith that he quoted remain true? Either a lie is good or a lie is bad. Now we're going to break down this hadith where he says that you can lie in three cases. And we're going to show you how he just messed up big time, because we're going to break down each case and we're going to give an example as to why lying is not ever appropriate, because it's opening up a Pandora's box when you say that there are exceptions when you can lie. Okay, now let's break down number one. He says that, and this is Muhammad, what he said: "It is not lawful to lie except in three cases." Case number one, he says that you can lie when it's something the man tells his wife to please her. Now, when you say the word something, that's all inclusive. So basically, as a Muslim, Muhammad gave them the privilege to lie to their wives. They can say whatever they want to say to their wife to please her. It doesn't matter what they say. He didn't give any exceptions. He just said they can lie to their wife to please her. Now, we all know how damaging that is, because when you lie to a person, guess what happens? When you lie to a person, you have to follow it up with another lie. Because what happens when you lie to a person to please them, and then they find out that you lied to them? You know what happens? Then you end up having to tell another lie. Then, before you know it, you're going to start tripping over your lies. One lie will turn to another lie, and another lie will turn to another lie. And then what ends up happening is you become a habitual liar. Okay? He didn't say that you can tell one lie and that's it. No, he said you can lie in three cases. So he gave the Muslims the green light to be habitual liars. Okay? Now, what does the Bible say? The truth shall set you free. What did the Quran say? It said truth makes clear from error. What did Muhammad say? He said lies make clear from error, because he went against Surah 2, 256. So basically he's saying that, no, Allah, you are wrong. Truth does not make clear from error. Lies make clear from error. So which one is it going to be? Okay? So, and the reason why it's not good to get in the habit of lying, and for him to be a prophet and telling people that it's okay to lie. First of all, where in the Quran does it say that you can lie in three cases? It's nowhere in the Quran. Where in the Ten Commandments, even though the Quran says you can lie under oath, so let me take that back. Where in the Ten Commandments does it say, thou shalt not lie, except for such and such case, and for such and such case, and for such and such case? Can you imagine Moses being handed down the Ten Commandments and God telling him, thou shalt not lie, except for this reason and this reason and this reason? Then if that's the case, what is a lie then? What is a lie? A lie is anything that's opposite of the truth. Not only that, when you lie to somebody, you are insulting their intelligence. When you lie to someone and they find out that you lied to them, they will be upset with you because you insulted that person's intelligence. When you lie to a person, it's also a selfish act. So not only was Muhammad telling them that it's okay to lie, he was also telling them, without saying it, that it's okay to be selfish. Because the lie, it benefits the ego of the person who is telling the lie, and it safeguards the person who is telling the lie. Okay? Usually when someone is lying, it's a lie that's being told to benefit you. But like I said, it can backfire when the person finds out that you were lying. Okay? So that's why it's not good to lie. And also, when you get in the habit of lying, guess what? Your body will naturally forget about the lie that you told. And the reason that is because a lie is something that you have to practice. So when Muhammad told him that it's okay to lie, he was telling them it's okay to practice your lies. It's okay to be a habitual liar. That's like someone telling a criminal it's okay to be an habitual felon. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why you will trip up with your lies is because your body is naturally designed with right and wrong. We have a consciousness in us that comes from God, that the Creator put inside of us. So that's why the truth is hard to forget, because the truth is not made up. It's not something that you have to memorize. It's something that's with you. It's something that you lived. It's something that you experienced, and it's something that's in your heart. But a lie is something that's just created in your head. So when you lie to somebody at the spur of the moment, and then they question your lie, and then 2 seconds later, they ask you the same question, and guess what? You forget the lie that you told them. And then they'll say, but 10 seconds ago, you told me this lie. And then you will say, I forgot. Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to say what I said because I know I told you something. And then before you know it, you'll be stuttering and tripping all over your words, just like how they interrogate people. When the cops arrest somebody and they interrogate them, that's why they ask people questions repetitively, because when you lie about something, it will expose itself. And then you're going to end up having to admit the truth anyway. So when Muhammad said this is not the words of God. No way are these the words of God. This is straight from Satan. Okay? Because it doesn't give you the know-how of what to do when the person finds out that you lied to them. You get what I'm saying? Now, the Bible says that Satan is the father of lies. But here in Islam, you have Muhammad being the father of lies. Now, if Muhammad is telling you that it's okay to lie, then he's doing the job that Satan's supposed to do. Because Satan will also tell you that it's okay to lie. Satan can also tell a woman anything that pleases her. So what's the difference between Satan saying something to a woman to please her versus Muhammad telling you that it's okay to tell a lie to please your wife? What's the difference? Satan is not here to tell us the truth, and Muhammad is telling you to be like Satan and basically telling you that it's okay to tell a person anything to make them feel good. And then he'll tell you that truth makes clear from error. But when you lie to somebody, you're telling them an error because it's not the truth. And eventually, they're going to find out because the truth shall prevail at the end. Isn't that what religion is about? Truth's supposed to prevail at the end. God is going to come back. He's going to get rid of Satan and his kingdom and all of the lies that's been told to us since we was born to the time we grew up to the time that we die. Isn't that what it's all about? Truth prevailing and lies being put to rest? But not according to Muhammad. He is pushing the lying agenda. You see, he's doing the job of Satan. Now, let's show you the next reason that Muhammad said it's okay to lie. He said it's okay to lie during war. Okay? Now, what does this mean? This basically means that you cannot trust a Muslim. This is why I tell people Muslims are professional liars. You can't trust them because Muslims view the non-Muslim world as the house of war. They give it a name. It's called Dar el-Harb. The non-Muslim world is called Dar el-Harb, which means the house of war. The Muslim world is called Dar es-Salam, which means the house of peace. So Islam is in a perpetual state of battle with non-Muslims. So that means when it says during war, that doesn't mean just actual conflict with guns going back and forth, because Islam is always at a stage of war. They always doing terrorist attacks. They always trying to cause war at any moment that they can get away with it. So they are in a perpetual state of war with us. That's what jihad means, a holy war. It's different versions of jihad. And one of those versions is actual military action. Okay? So this means that if a Muslim head of state makes a peace agreement with a non-Muslim nation, they can lie to the non-Muslim because Muhammad gave them the green light. He said you can lie during war. That's why you can't even trust the Muslim heads of state, because they will lie to you. And because you are a non-Muslim, when they get the opportunity, guess what? They will stab you in the back. You cannot trust a Muslim. They are snakes. They slithering snakes. Now let's show you the other reason, the third reason that Muhammad says that it's okay to lie. He says it's okay to lie in order to bring peace between the people. Okay? Now this is where it really gets bad for Muhammad, and this is where it really gets bad when it comes to Muslims claiming that Islam is a religion of peace. Because one of the claims that Muslims make is that Muhammad came and he unified all of the Arab tribes. He unified the various tribes under the banner of Islam, i.e., the religion of peace. Okay? So he said that in order to bring peace between the people, you can lie. So let's just give you an everyday example. Say I owe my friend Tom, let's just say $100, okay? Let's say I told him that I get paid on Friday. I say, Tom, let's just say I told him I would pay him on Tuesday and that I get paid on Friday, but I really didn't get paid on Friday. But to keep the peace with Tom, I lied to him. I say, Tom, I told you, if Tom say, will you have my money And I tell him, yes, I get paid Friday, but I really don't get paid Friday. And I tell him, Tom, I'll have your money this Tuesday. So when Tuesday come and Tom asks me for his money, if I say to Tom to keep the peace, Tom, I was supposed to get paid this Friday, but they held the checks back because of the bank closed or something like that. Just any excuse I wanted to throw out. And if I said that to make Tom not mad at me, to calm Tom down, okay, Muhammad is saying it's okay to do that. Now, what happens when Tom, let's just say in this scenario, Tom happens to be friends with another friend who works with me. And that friend tells Tom that we did get paid Friday. Okay? And Tom comes back to me and say, hey, you lied to me, Brother Jacob. You lied to me. You said y'all didn't get paid on your job Friday. I want my money that you owe me. Guess what'll happen? You would have to make up another lie. You see where this is headed? Down a hill called disaster. You would have to make up another lie just to clean up the first lie that you said. Now, what did Muhammad say in the other hadith? Let's show you. He said, truth leads one to paradise, and virtue leads one to paradise. And the person who tells the truth until he is recorded as truthful, and a lie leads to obscenity, and obscenity leads to hell. You see what happened? Now, what if, because the person I lied to finds out I lied, guess what that would lead to? That would lead to what? Obscenity. Muhammad said it himself, you see? And lies leads to obscenities, and obscenity leads to hell. So what if my lie, when it's found out that I lied to this person, it turns to an obscenity? Now, what if this is between two Muslims? What is the Muslim supposed to say to the other Muslim once the other Muslim is ready to knock his head off his shoulder for lying to him about the money that he owed him? What is he going to say? Why are you getting mad at me? Muhammad said I can lie to you to keep the peace. Then what would the other Muslim say? You think he's going to buy that? Or let's just say if it's a Muslim with a non-Muslim that he owes money. Like, how does this play out? It leads to arguing for one. It doesn't lead to peace. But Muhammad said you can lie in order to keep the peace. But the example I showed you gives a clear picture of what can happen when the lie gets busted. It blows up in your face. Okay? Now, as you see in this hadith, it says that, and virtue leads one to paradise. So how is one who is told that it's okay to lie, how is lying or being a liar a good virtue that can lead to paradise? Because once the person who you was trying to keep peace with find out that you were lying to them, it's going to lead to an obscenity. It's going to lead to a fight. It's going to lead to a disruption of the peace. So Muhammad is the one to blame for this. Because now, if you were known before you got busted lying for being a person with good virtue, after the person you lied to finds out that you told them a lie, guess what? Your virtue would be known as being a liar. But guess what? Muhammad said that it's okay to lie. You see how this all falls apart now? And guess what? He also said that lying leads to obscenity. Obscenity leads to hell. And the person who tells a lie is recorded as a liar. So when you tell this lie that Muhammad said is okay to tell to keep the peace, but when it fails to work and the lie blows up in your face and it turns into an obscenity, guess what? Muhammad now becomes the one that led you to hell, because now your virtue has been exposed for what you really are. Once someone finds out that you lied to them, your virtue now becomes a liar. And what does it say? Then you will be recorded, you see? And lie leads to obscenity, and obscenity leads to hell. And a person tells a lie until he is recorded as a liar. So now you will be recorded as a liar, especially in the mind of the person that you lied to. You will be considered a liar. They're not going to look at you as, oh, I was trying to keep the peace. They're not trying to hear that. You a liar. So what happens after, let's just say if the person accepts your apology and say, I understood that you were trying to keep the peace and you was lying because you didn't have the money. Okay, I understand. But don't lie to me again. What would them saying don't lie to me again mean to the person who got caught lying if Muhammad said that it's okay to lie? So that means that person could in fact turn right back around and lie to the same person who he apologized to, because Muhammad said it's okay to lie. So that person could leave that same situation and find himself in another situation with another person, and he can lie again. So what it leads to is an endless road of lying where the person never learns his lesson from lying. That A, you can get caught lying. B, the person who you lied to could, want to fight you or something like that. But guess what? None of that matters, because Muhammad still said you can lie. You get what I'm saying? He still gave you the green light to lie. So as it goes, Muhammad set the Muslim up to not even learn a lesson about lying. So he keeps them in a perpetual state of being a liar. So actually, Muhammad is acting out like Satan. Because what it says is, and the person who tells a lie until he is recorded as a liar, you will be known as a liar and you will be sent to hell, according to Muhammad. So what will the person who goes to hell, the Muslim who goes to hell for lying, what would that Muslim tell Allah on the day of judgment? Is he going to blame Satan for being a liar and being recorded as a liar? Or will he blame Muhammad, the one who said it's okay to tell lies? You see? So here you have Muhammad doing the job of Satan. So what do you need Satan for if Muhammad is the one that's telling you to lie? You see? And this brings up another point. Muhammad also contradicted himself, because how many of you remember the story of the satanic verses? In that story, it's in the Quran, it says that Satan cast words upon the tongue of Muhammad, and he quoted verses which made it okay for Muslims and Sabians to pray to the three daughters of Allah, the three crane birds, the three daughters of Allah, Al-Uzza, Al-Alat, and Manat, that these three cranes could actually carry the prayers to Allah. Okay? Now, the reason why Muhammad did it, because he was trying to make peace between the Sabian pagans and the Muslims. And they all bowed down to the three daughters of Allah. But afterwards, Muhammad felt guilty. Gabriel came to him, according to the story. We all know that Gabriel never visited Muhammad. But according to the Muslim narrative, the angel Gabriel came to Muhammad and said that he was deceived by a false Gabriel. But the problem is this. How did Muhammad do something wrong when he was only trying to keep the peace between the non-Muslims and the Muslims? By accepting the three daughters of Allah and bowing down to them to make peace and to keep peace with the Sabians, who also worship Allah and the three daughters of Allah. You get what I'm saying? So that in itself, even that story is a contradiction. Okay? Because he did exactly what he commanded. He said that you can lie in order to bring peace between the people. But when he said what he said, then he felt bad about it. But he's the one who said that you can lie in order to bring peace between the people. And he didn't say what you can lie about and what you can't lie about. He didn't say that you can't lie if it's about something pertaining to monotheism and not associating Allah with anything. He didn't say that. So when he said that they could pay homage to the three daughters of Allah, after he felt guilty about it, after Gabriel came to him, then guess what? The verse was abrogated from the Quran, from the present Quran that you have today. But guess what? He only did what he commanded the Muslims to do in this hadith. He lied, or he said what he said to bring peace between the Muslims and the non-Muslims. You see what I'm saying? So he didn't even practice what he preached because he felt guilty about it. That's my point. You see? So none of this works well for Muhammad. None of this. Now, let's show you another hadith that proves that Muhammad knows that lying is wrong. And this is Sahih al-Bukhari. Narrated Ali, the Prophet said, "Do not tell a lie against me, for whoever tells a lie against me, then he will surely enter the hellfire." And again, that intentionally part that you see with the parentheses around it, that's not in the Arabic. Muslims, they always doctor up hadiths and the Quran because they have to do that. But that's another subject because they are liars and they see the contradictions just like we see it, but they have to doctor the contradictions so the non-Arabic speaking Muslims won't, be able to see it and ask the question, or a light bulb, might pop up on their head, over their head, and they'll be like, oh, see things like I see it. So to prevent that, they'll lie, and they got all these clever ways of doctoring translations of the hadith and the Quran. So as you see, Muhammad knew that lying was wrong. Okay? He is the type of person that you can't trust. He'll say something and say that you should do it. But let's just read the hadith. Narrated Ali, the Prophet said, "Do not tell a lie against me, for whoever tells a lie against me, then he will surely enter the hellfire." Okay? But it's okay that you all, the Sahaba, the Muslims who, my companions, it's okay to lie amongst each other. It's okay to lie to each other to keep the peace. It's okay to lie to your wife. It's okay to lie during war. Just don't lie to me. Why did he say don't lie to him? Because he knows that it's not good to lie. That's proof all day. He don't want it done to him, but he don't mind the Muslims doing it to each other. Okay? He said, "Do not tell a lie against me, for whoever tells a lie against me, then he will surely enter the hellfire." But Muslims, it's okay to lie to each other. It's okay to lie. Husband, you can lie on yourself. You can tell a lie on yourself to please your wife. You can tell a lie to your friend to make peace between your friend. You can lie to each other all day. Just don't tell a lie against me. You know why he said that? Because he knew that lying was wrong. If he didn't think it was wrong, he wouldn't have no qualm about them lying about him. You get what I'm saying? So he placed himself in the same realm with God, because no Muslim would dare lie to Allah. And likewise, Muhammad is saying, don't lie to me. So he is telling them, don't lie to him, but it's okay to lie to each other. Now, this is where the hammer hits the nail right now. Now we're about to show you why, when Muslims say that Islam is the religion of peace, why you cannot trust Islam, and why this hadith in front of you proves that Muhammad was a liar and that Islam was just created as a way for him to take control of the different Arab tribes. Because as you see, what does it say? It is not lawful to lie except in 3 cases: something the man tells his wife to please her, to lie during war, and to lie in order to bring peace between the people. What's the claim that Muslims always make? Islam, the religion of peace, unified the Arabs. Muhammad was their prophet. The Jews had their prophet. Muhammad, he wanted to be like the Jews. He wanted his Arab people to have a prophet. So he created a religion, because before Islam, the Arabs, they had their own like local gods, like in Hinduism. Even the present day Kaaba, it housed 360 idols. The chief god of the Kaaba was Habur, which is basically Allah, another name for Allah. The only thing that Muhammad did, he got rid of the idols, but he kept the chief god of the Kaaba, which is Allah. He kept that god. He got rid of the rest of the idols. And during the satanic verses, that's when he tried to appease the Sabians, who were still holding on to the 3 daughters of Allah: Al-Alat, Al-Uzza, and Manat. Okay? So, as you see, Muhammad exposed himself in this hadith right here. See, when a person gets to talking, eventually they will spill the beans. And that's exactly what Muhammad did. He said, you know why he said you can lie? Read it. You can lie in order to bring peace between the people, because that's exactly what he did when he created Islam. He created the religion of Islam to unify and bring peace among the various Arab tribes. And that's why they call Islam the religion of peace. But it was all conspired. It was all a part of his strategy. He's telling you right here, you can lie in order to bring peace between the people. So that whole thing about the cave of Hira and him being visited by an angel, it was all a lie. He just wanted to make himself a prophet. He wanted to unify the Arab tribes and bring them all under one banner of Islam. You see? And that's what Muslims say. Islam is a religion of peace. But it's a lie. You see? He did it so he can be in command. So nobody would oppose him. Had he not did it this way, guess what? He had to keep the God Allah as the chief God. Because all of them knew, the chief God as Allah. Even though they had other gods, but Allah was known by all of the Arab tribes. So he had to hold on to that Allah. Had he not held on to Allah, had he not held on to the different, let me show you. Had he not held on to certain rituals that they did, they would have rejected him. Let me show you. Like, for instance, like circling the Kaaba. That's a, boom, let's show you. That's a ritual that existed pre-Islam. And let's show you. Narrated Abu Raja al-Utaridi. We used to worship stones. And when we found a better stone than the first one, we would throw the first one and take the latter. But if we could not get a stone, then we would collect some earth and then bring a sheep and milk that sheep over it and perform the tawaf around it when the month of Rajab came. You see? So this hadith, you have a Muslim telling you that they used to worship stones. So that's why Muhammad, he kept the tradition of the stone worship when he bowed down and kissed the Kaaba stone and said that the Kaaba stone erases sins. The Kaaba stone, the black stone that sits in the Yemeni corner, on the Kaaba, that stone existed pre-Islam. It was worshipped by the Muslims, by the Arabs before Islam. And as you see, they also did the tawaf. It says, but if we cannot get a stone, then we would collect some earth and then bring a sheep and milk sheep over it and perform the tawaf around it. The tawaf is when the Muslims circle the Kaaba 7 times. That's where it came from. It was practiced pre-Islam. So what Muhammad did, he just kept all of the pre-Islam practices and he mimicked after the Jews because he liked the idea that the Jews didn't worship like 100 different gods. He liked the idea that the Jews had Yahweh, one God. He envied the fact that the Jews had Moses and, all of the patriarchs in the Bible. So what he did, Muhammad, he contrived a way that he could bring his people under one banner, to bring them under peace and to bring them in unity. And he did it through lying. And he's telling you right here. He's telling you right here, look, it's okay to lie in order to bring peace between the people. And that's exactly what he did when he formed Islam, the so-called religion of peace. He did it by lies. And he's telling you right here in this hadith that it's okay to lie to bring peace between the people. So the Muslim today is following a religion that was brought about through a man who felt it was okay to lie in order to create the religion of peace, because he felt that through lying, he could bring peace between the people, between the various Arab tribes. And that just destroys Islam being a true religion, because it was based upon a lie Muhammad told on himself in his hadith. So he is guilty of doing the very thing that he told his people that it's okay to do, that you can lie in order to bring peace between the people. And that's exactly what he did when he created what Muslims say is the religion of peace called Islam. He felt it was okay because he felt like him lying brought peace amongst the different Arab tribes. So in Muhammad's mind, he lied for a good reason. You get what I'm saying? So that destroys his prophethood. We just showed you how he contradicted the Quran, Surah 2, verse 256. Truth makes clear from error. We showed you how he contradicted himself in the various hadiths. We showed you how he himself didn't like to be lied to, but he told the Muslims that it's okay for them to lie amongst each other. We showed you how he didn't have a backup plan for what happens when the lie goes wrong. When the person that he lied to finds out that you lied, then what happens? He didn't have nothing to tell them for a situation like that, except that it leads to obscenities, as we showed, and that it leads to fighting, and that you will be recorded as a liar. So when a Muslim ends up in hell, who will he blame? He has nobody to blame but his own prophet, who said that it's okay for him to lie. And with that, this is Brother Jacob signing out. Hope you got something out of it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And use these arguments with Muslims. They have nothing for this. Study this argument that you saw in this video and use this to win souls to Jesus, because Muslims are following a lie. And guess what? You could be the first person to tell them and break it down to them like this. They probably have never heard anyone break it down like Brother Jacob just did, because God is using me to show you so you can show someone. And this is the real way to make truth make clear from error. Not how Muhammad said, which is lies make truth, that lies make clear from error. No, he contradicted himself. So study this video, remember these hadiths, and use this when you are witnessing to Muslims. If they try to say that Muhammad is a prophet, you can show them how he was a liar, how he was doing the job of Satan. And this is a irrefutable argument that they can't get out of. They can't get out of this. So with that, this is Brother Jacob signing out. Leave your comments below. And until we do it again, shalom to everybody, and enjoy the rest of your night or day. God bless.